Aside from all the other crises going on, the food crisis, the supply chain issue, the fact that the big bear country could be calling out 1,200,000 troops, not the 300,000 that was reported the other day. This should be a sign that something very big is brewing. And why is the government buying up all of the potassium iodide? This is definitely some information that I at least want my community to know about, because it appears that things are much worse than we thought they were. Be sure to stick around. I'll give you the condensed version of all of this information, important information that you guys should know because it might affect you in the next 3 months. Welcome back to all of our subscribers. If you're brand new here and like information that affects you and weekly tips, emergency preparedness, prepping tips, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss a video. Let's jump into this one. So first of all, let me be clear. I don't even like talking about this. I don't like doing videos on stuff like this. I don't like getting labeled as a fearmonger, and I don't want to report assumptions. But I also don't want to let this type of big information that could affect our community not be shared. So with that, I think I've got some pretty sound information with good credibility. Let's get going on it. And as we get going, remember, I'm going to use terms without saying trigger words. The chances are videos like that don't get pushed. Also, as we get going, be sure to leave your comments as we go through different stuff. Let me know what you know. Let me know what you think of what I'm saying. And furthermore, be sure to share this information. We need to make people aware. First of all, we were told by the leader of the bear country that they were going to call out for 300,000 troops. Other world news is saying no, 1,200,000 troops. Scarier than that, they're saying it's just the first phase. So let's go through this article together real quick, and I'll leave a link down in the description below if you'd like to thoroughly read through it yourself. This article from War News 24/7 titled Bombshell Russian Analysts, 1,200,000 reservists are being prepared for military involvement outside Ukraine as well. Recruiting offices were opened in Serbia. In quotes, Serbs will fight for Orthodox values together with the big R country. So you see in many parts of the rest of the world, they're seeing 1,200,000 troops, not 300,000 troops. And why could this be? Do they not want to provoke fear and panic? Because I can tell you, whether they're reporting on it or not, they know about it.
Right. Well, Erin, there's more controversy tonight in Russia, as you were referring to, about exactly how many people are going to be called up in this mobilization. It's not just Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine saying it's 1 million. Local media in Russia is quoting their sources, saying that that's the figure they've been told as well. The Kremlin says that's lies, but we will see.
We hear that there's disproportionate call-up of certain ethnic minorities. Clearly, the numbers don't seem to be 300,000 reservists, and the Russian state media themselves are saying 1 million. What more are you learning is really happening with the mobilization?
It continues to say Russian analysts and military experts confirm that the number of citizens who will be recruited in the first phase will even reach 1,200,000. The same sources say they hope the number will not rise further as Moscow prepares for battles on multiple fronts. Scenario of the unification of the Big R world seems to be in the back of Vlad's mind. The Big R analysts directly talk about military involvement outside of Ukraine in Central Asia, in Transcaucasia and Transnistria for 2 to 3 years. Necessary condition is that the Ukraine case should be finished first, and that Kharkiv, Nikolov, and Odessa should also be taken after the Donbass case is finished. Down further, it reads, Russian authorities plan to recruit 1.2 million people for their partial mobilization. Additionally, the source close to Moscow's leadership told Russian media outlet Meduza that up to 16,000 people from the capital are being recruited. This was confirmed by a source close to one of the Russia's federal ministries. Skip down a little bit. It says, after Vlad's mobilization announcement on Wednesday, the Big R country defense minister Sergei Shoigu said that a total of 300,000 reserve troops would be called up. The official number of people to be drafted, and get this part that they skipped out, the official number of people to be drafted is indicated in the classified 7th paragraph of Big P's official decree. On September 22nd, Novaya Gazeta Europe, citing a source in the Big P's government, reported that the classified paragraph allows for up to 1 million entrants. Today, another source confirmed that the number of reserves, which as everything shows, will be much higher. And down further, it says both China and Iran will play along with the Big R country in Central Asia and Transcaucasia, because no one needs a Turkish Khaganate supported by Britain. It will be cleaned. And that's the gist of the article. If you guys want some more information or you want to continue reading through it, it's very informative. The link's down in the description for you. Another interesting thing that's going on is that we were told that the men inscripted and drafted were all people of background of military experience. But world news and a bunch of reports are showing otherwise.
Supposedly, it is just reservists that are at risk of being drafted. But according to this man, Viktor Bugriev, that is not the case.
I got this summons, according to which today I need to present myself for revision of my military registration. Today on September 22nd, 2022. When I came in, I was given the notice according to which today at 3 p.m. I need to depart for the army. Here you are. I've never served in the army. I was never a conscript. I have no military experience. I will go. Do I have an alternative? I go today or I get criminally prosecuted.
But this is really incompetent. They're bringing in people who are, one person was 63 years old and he was brought in to be mobilized, clearly outside of any range of being allowed by law. Somebody who had body damage, somebody who had a missing limb was recruited or attempted to mobilize. So clearly they had some incomplete, random information.
So here's a concern. Over 1 million troops is by far more than you need to take over that specific country. And stating that they're going to be going to multiple fronts, and this is just the first phase, something really big is brewing right now. And we'll come back to that. And also, I was watching Canadian Prepper yesterday, and he brought up a really good point. Why is the government buying up all of the potassium iodide? For those of you that don't know, that is something that you take when you're exposed to nuclear radiation. But they're buying it all up. Nate said that he had some connections with the folks that actually make ThyroSafe and this stuff, and they said that they're buying it all up. Now, is it for America? Are they sending it all over to Poland or other European countries? I don't know, but it sounds like they're buying it all up. Is it a possibility that the news has to keep this on the DL to prevent American worry, panic, the crisis? They want to get enough for what they're using it for before a panic starts and it gets all bought up. We all reported a while back on the New York posting out a bunch of information on what you do when there's a nuclear attack. Well, now he says that they're posting flyers in the subways. Where would most people go in a nuclear attack? The subways. So it's real interesting that they're posting all of these flyers on what to do and how to handle it in the subways. I don't know. A lot of things are adding up though, right? Let me know down in the comments what you think. And be sure to be sharing this out. Another angle that I heard was this first 300,000 troops call up. Maybe it's the generals. Maybe it's all the medical people, because the masses need leaders, right? That's where all the captains and the generals are coming in. And then later the grunts, the ground troops, will be the masses of the millions. So when this whole thing lights off and blows up, they're thinking that it'll be Poland, the Baltic states, because the numbers and the statements that are made is looking like this is a much bigger deal than we all think. Sergei Shoigu, the defense minister of the Big R, said that they're calling out 1% of their 25 million reservists. This sounds like it could be a very big staging. And I was watching Paul and Adrian yesterday, and Paul's even staking his reputation, saying, mark my words, within 3 months, maybe sooner, Biden will step out on the podium and make a national announcement calling for a draft and reserve troops. Do you think that they're ready to defend and fight against millions and millions of troops? He said this is the first time in 80 years that the Big R country has called out for more military. In fact, that the Big R country is converting their entire country. They're staging up everything, because I think he's putting in all of his chips. They're all in and they're priming their country. Another crazy thing, China's doing the same thing. They're getting ready too, and they're partners, so that's not good. Now we got both sides to worry about. Check this out, at least 2,300 vehicles at one single border post. People are trying to escape in a big way. Imagine if our country, just at one border post, had 2,300 cars lined up trying to get out. Cyber attacks, blackouts, no power. You gotta be ready, you gotta have a plan. Now the dark winter that people warn about, the doomsday prepper type people, remember that was brought up last year, and I didn't really think that it was gonna happen. Was I prepared? Yeah, I'm always prepping, I'm always getting ready. Emergency preparedness is always on my mind. But this year, for sure, it is in the forefront of my mind that this winter could be rough. There's just too many things, too many crises, food crises, supply chain issues, war issues. There's way too much stuff that's just stacking and stacking and stacking. And we've all been warning you for a long time now. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And what has it been doing? Getting worse. Now, is any of this stuff going to happen? I have no idea. I hope it does not happen. But the reports that are out there look sketchy, real sketchy, and I got to get you that information just so that you're aware. Do your own research, check into this stuff, links down in the description, share this video, make people aware so more people are ready. There's nothing wrong with prepping and being ready. You're either going to be somewhat prepped and be able to handle a disastrous situation better than on the flip side be taken by storm trying to find food, fighting off people at grocery stores, looting. It'll get crazy. You don't want to be up in that mess. So be better prepared. So in case something does happen, you have a plan, you have some stuff prepped. We just want you to be better off. Don't panic. Don't worry about anything. Take steps with your emergency preparedness.